Welcome to Friday Night Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. We here live here in San Antonio, Texas, and it looks like Adriane has some words here to say. Ladies and gentlemen, last week I defeated your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, and you know what? I did it without nobody's help. And yet Roman is too cowardly to challenge me to a match at Lyon, France. So I can... Oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Adriane, look. You beat me off a fluke. You cannot do that again. And you know what? I would challenge you to a match at Lyon, France, at Backlash. But when you lose, you are going down. And now what does Adriane say? He said no. What in the hell? Roman Reigns offered the challenge to Adriane at Backlash. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live in San Antonio, Texas, and I still cannot believe what we just witnessed. Adriane turned down Roman Reigns for the match at Lyon, France. But ladies and gentlemen, coming into our next match, we're gonna have a #1 contenders match for the United States Championship. And here comes.
Is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Cameron, North Carolina, weighing in at 225 pounds, Jeff Hardy.
Here comes Jeff Hardy, making his return to WWE. And ladies and gentlemen, he's looking to capture the United States Championship for a 4th time in his career. Jeff Hardy, one hell of a competitor, a Hall of Famer career. But ladies and gentlemen, who is Jeff Hardy facing? And he's facing Carmelo Hayes.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes also looking to gain his first singles championship here in WWE. But while Carmelo's making his way down to the ring, ladies and gentlemen, we have a stacked card for you here tonight. Because Julia, Charlotte Flair, Roxanne Perez will be in a triple threat match to find out who faced Soruka for the vacant Women's Championship. Also, we're gonna have R-Truth and Ethan Page battle out to see who will face the winner of this match for the United States Championship. And in our main event, we will find out who will go to Lyon, France to challenge for the WWE Championship. Aleister Black or The Miz. A whole lot of action here in San Antonio. But ladies and gentlemen, let's find out who's going to the United States title match. Jeff Hardy, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo coming out of the gate strong with the clothesline. And now the moonsault, no. And now Hardy with the crossbody. Both men missing their aerial attacks. And now look at Carmelo Hayes. And Jeff Hardy locking up here. Carmelo working with the gut bench. Into the hole now. Jeff Hardy. He's a veteran here in WWE. Look at the snapman. And now into the chokehold. And now Carmelo trying to fight out of the chokehold. And look at Hardy putting all his weight into it. And it looks like Carmelo Hayes is tapping. But referee's not calling for the bell. Big stunner on Jeff Hardy, look at Hayes now, missing the clothesline once again. And now Jeff Hardy. Wrist shots to the midsection. And now once again with the grapple of both men. And now look at Hayes with the headlock on Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy though trying to fight out of it. Carmelo using all his weight on the neck, sending Carmelo over the top rope. Big punch by Hardy, and another time. And now Jeff Hardy getting hung up by Carmelo. And now look at Hayes going to the top rope. What does Hayes have in mind here? Cross body down on Jeff, going for the pin. Is this going to be enough? And a kick out by Hardy. Out one. Big kick by Jeff, taking down Carmelo, and now stomping out the legs of Carmelo. But Hayes takes down Jeff Hardy, getting up Jeff in a seated position, and now getting him up to a knee. And now what does Hayes have in mind? Big knee, no. Jeff rolls out of it. DDT to Carmelo. And now Jeff Hardy goes to the apron. Leg drop down on Carmelo Hayes. And now Jeff Hardy gets Hayes off the ropes into a Luther's press by Jeff. Rolling to the ropes, big form. And now look at Jeff Hardy with the DDT. Kicking off Jeff Hardy is Carmelo Hayes into what a face buster by Hayes. Getting back inside the ring. And now look at this, showboating is Carmelo. Kind of four by the referee. Hayes broke the count. Super kick down goes Jeff. Count of three. Carmelo Hayes attacking the arm of Hardy. And now what does Hayes have in mind? Getting up Jeff Hardy here. Sitting him face first into the ring post. And now Hayes sending Jeff across the ring. Getting back inside the ring. Count of 6 by the ref. And now Hayes going to the apron, now getting back inside the ring, falls under, ducks the clothesline from Hardy. And now Hayes getting reversed by Jeff. Big punch, kick, chop, and now there's a 4. And now Jeff getting ripped off the ropes, drop kick by Carmelo. And now Jeff Hardy using the corner to get up here, scoop, slam out of the corner. And now look at Carmelo Hayes climbing to the top. Carmelo with the splash. Going for the pin to advance to Leon France. There's 2 and a kick out by Jeff Hardy. Moonsault, no, Jeff rolls out of harm's way. Off the ropes goes Jeff into a splash to the back now. And now what does Jeff have in mind here? Working over the arm submission hold, but no, Carmelo Hayes fought out of it. And now what does Carmelo have in mind here? Setting up Jeff Hardy with nothing. What a move by Carmelo Hayes, going for the pin. There's 2 and a kick out by Jeff. And now Carmelo sizes him up once again here. Kick to the midsection. Twist of fate. Using the twist of fate. Is he going to defeat Jeff Hardy? And he does. Carmelo Hayes goes to Leon France.
Here is your winner, Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes goes to Leon France to battle for the United States Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, let's move into the triple threat match between Julia, Charlotte Flair, and Roxanne Perez. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back live in San Antonio, Texas. And here comes the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
The following is a triple threat match. Making her way to the ring from the Queen City, Charlotte Flair.
And ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Flair is a decorated superstar. 14-time women's champion. And she's looking to become a 15-time if she can win this triple threat match. And go on to Lyon, France to challenge Zoruka. But ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Flair wants Jessica Carr to hold the ropes for her. Charlotte Flair is one hell of a competitor. She's gonna be a Hall of Famer here in WWE. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get out. The woman who's making her SmackDown debut in Julia. And here comes Julia, who's been a powerhouse on the independents.
From Tokyo, Japan,
Julia is looking to capture her first world title here in WWE. But she has one hell of a challenge, especially yet alone Charlotte Flair, but now Roxanne Perez. Julia does not look scared though. Julia looks ready. Julia is ready to prove herself to the WWE Universe here tonight. But let's get out the final member of this triple threat match. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes the Prodigy in Roxanne Perez.
From Laredo, Texas, Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez is from Texas, not from San Antonio. But ladies and gentlemen, you gotta think Roxanne Perez is ready to prove herself here in WWE, looking to gain her women's championship. This woman on NXT was a dominant force, 2-time women's champion down in NXT. One of the longest reigning NXT women's champions. But now Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Charlotte Flair all have a chance to go to Lyon, France. And there's the crowd here in San Antonio voting for Julia. Let's get into it. Julia picks up Charlotte, but Charlotte Flair reverses. And now look at the Prodigy rolling up Charlotte Flair early in this matchup. And there's Julia to break it up. And now look at Julia with punches to the Queen. And now Roxanne grabs a kendo stick and laying out Julia with it. Now the Prodigy not being taken lightly here in this triple threat match. Stomping out the arm of Julia. And now Charlotte Flair picks up Roxanne and down with a sit-out stunner. And now what does Julia have in mind here? Working over the Queen and dropping Charlotte on her arm. And now Roxanne Perez will kick to the midsection of Julia. Into a powerbomb. Down goes Julia. And now there's the spear by Charlotte. And now taking down the arm of Roxanne Perez. But Roxanne taking out the leg. Roxanne Perez working over the leg of Charlotte. Doing damage to the leg that she does the figure four with. And now look at the Prodigy with the submission hold. But Julia is there to break it up. And now look at Roxanne rolls through with the wheelbarrow slam. Going for the pin. And Charlotte breaks it up. And now there's the chop by Flair. And look at Charlotte getting taken down by Julia. And now Julia takes down Roxanne Perez. Knee to the back. Now what does Julia have in mind here? Punch to Roxanne. And now there's the drop kick sending Roxanne to the floor. And now there's Charlotte taking down Julia. Going for the pin on Julia. No. Julia gets up here. And now Charlotte Flair sends her off the ropes. Back elbow. No. Ducked under is Julia. And now there's a chop by Julia. And now Julia sends Roxanne off the ropes. Oh, what a headbutt by Julia. And now what does Julia have in store for Charlotte? Charlotte, though, finds counters to Julia. Sending Julia into the corner. Charlotte saw the attack coming from Roxanne. And now laying out Roxanne with knees to the midsection. And now Julia takes down Charlotte Flair onto Roxanne. Big knee to Charlotte. Drop kick, down goes Julia. And now look at Roxanne playing chase here. But now DDT, down goes Charlotte Flair. And a chair, down goes Roxanne Perez. And now Julia using the steel chair as a deciding factor here. Sending Charlotte into the steps, but Charlotte caught herself into Perez. And now Charlotte sends Perez into the ring. And now Julia has Charlotte Flair on the outside, but Charlotte once again finding a reversal for it. And now Julia once again has Charlotte Flair. Look at Charlotte getting double teamed by Roxanne and Julia. And now Roxanne sends Julia. No, Julia finds a reversal. Kick up by Charlotte though. Forearm by Roxanne. And now Roxanne sends Charlotte into the steel steps. Julia sent back inside the ring by Roxanne Perez. Roxanne gets sent off the ropes. Julia leapfrog. Big boot, down goes Perez. Going for the pin. Charlotte Flair's there though to break it up. And now Charlotte Flair has Julia on her shoulders. Down goes Charlotte Flair. And now look at the Hurricane Rana by Julia. Kick to the midsection. Roxanne Perez. Bob rocks. Charlotte Flair is there to break up the pin. There's the chop. And the natural selection to Roxanne Perez. Julia regaining composure. There's two, and Julia's there to break it up. Kick to the arm. And now look at Charlotte attacking the shoulder of Perez. And now Julia get caught by the Hall of Famers. Off the corner into a spear. Roxanne gets up though. Sent off the ropes. Big elbow. Down goes Roxanne Perez. And now all three women are up. Down goes Charlotte Flair by Perez. Julia with the STO takedown. punches now to the face of Roxanne. Big head bunt. Down goes Roxanne. And now there's the chair shot. Going for the pin. Charlotte's on the outside. There's two. And Roxanne barely gets the shoulder up at 2.9. There's the kendo stick now by Charlotte Flair. And now Charlotte Flair going to the middle rope, deciding not to. Big kick by Julia. And now Julia with the knee to Charlotte. Falls into the pin. Hooks the leg. There's two and a kick out by Charlotte. And now look at Julia. Kick to the midsection. Julia with, the Britain Buster. Going for the pin on Charlotte Flair. And a break up the pin by Roxanne Perez. And now look at Perez with the neck breaker down on Julia. Kick to the ankle. And now Perez circling Julia. And now attacking Julia with the chair. Now clothesline, down goes Julia. And now Roxanne Perez kick to the back of Julia. Getting up is Charlotte. Julia is in the corner. And there's a spear by Charlotte. And now Julia tries to take out the leg of Flair. Chop. No. Julia finds a reversal. Kick to the midsection. And now Julia with the DDT. Roxanne Perez sends Julia into the corner. And now grabbing the sledgehammer. Oh, there's the shot in the corner. And now Charlotte Flair once again sending Roxanne off the ropes. Reverse neck breaker by Charlotte. And now Charlotte has the prodigy right where she wants her. Big boot sending Perez over the top. And now Julia grabbing a kendo stick. But there's Charlotte Flair lighting her up with forms. And now taking down the leg of Julia. And now Perez getting back up to her feet. Showboating. And now the Queen makes her pay for it with the sledgehammer. Perez though knocking the sledgehammer out of Charlotte's arms. Into the ring goes Charlotte. And now look at this. Perez and Julia on the outside. Julia with the suplex. And now Charlotte joins them on the outside. Showboating here is Charlotte Flair. I don't know how wise that is. Charlotte with the big boot. And now Charlotte Flair rolls up Roxanne and a powerbomb to Roxanne Perez. And now Charlotte's inside the ring. Julia gets up here. Charlotte's grabbing the chair. And now there's the chair shot to Julia. And now look at Roxanne Perez. Had enough of Charlotte Flair in this matchup. And now all the women, or Roxanne Perez, getting inside the ring. Charlotte Flair with the spear once again. And now what does Charlotte have on her mind on the outside of the ring? There's the chop. And the natural selection on the outside. And although Julia's already back up to her feet, Julia sends Charlotte into the corner of the ringside area. Getting back inside the ring, Roxanne Perez, who counters, kick to the midsection. Julia got caught with pop rocks. Charlotte Flair's right there though to break up the pin. And now Charlotte Flair, backbreaker, and down goes Roxanne Perez. And now Roxanne reverses Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair though, getting Irish whip off the ropes into another Luther's press by the Prodigy. And now Julia with the Hurricane Runner down on Roxanne. And now all three women on the outside of the ring. Once again, you cannot gain pinfall or submission. It only happens inside the ring. And now the Prodigy getting back up. Now all three women are at a standstill in this match. Prodigy sending Julia across the ringside area. Charlotte Flair attacking the Prodigy with a sledgehammer. And now Charlotte Flair turning her attention to Julia, who laid her out with a punch. And now there's the chop. Kick by Charlotte, sending Julia into the ring. And now look at Charlotte Flair. Axe handle misses. Julia has a sledgehammer now. Crossface by the Prodigy. And there's Charlotte to break it up once again. Charlotte takes down the Prodigy. And now dragging Julia to the middle of the ring. Julia finds the reversal. I think Charlotte was looking for the figure four. German to Roxanne. Going for the pin is Charlotte Flair. Julia broke it up. And now look at Charlotte. Julia finds a reversal. Kick to, or forearm to the back. Down goes Charlotte Flair. There's Roxanne though. There's the double knees to the back. Going for the pin to go to Leon France. There's two. And Roxanne Perez faces Soruka for the Women's Championship.
Here is your winner, Roxanne Perez.
Roxanne Perez put on one hell of a performance. But ladies and gentlemen, we will be coming up to our next match. Who faces Carmella Hayes for the United States Championship? R-Truth or Ethan Page?
Y'all know what time it is. This the part where we crank it up. Let's crank it up. Now here we go. People over there, what's up? You feel me? Stand up and say what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You can get with this or you can get with that. You better get with this, cause this is where it's at. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? See, I be skipping and jumping, leaving the competition. I make them disappear like your favorite magician. And I ride it till the wheel fall off. I bounce back to back till their necks get soft. Most of the time you see me, I'm being simple. Then many times I'll be busting them up like a pimple, stating my claim to fame, to be one of the baddest young brothers step foot in this game. And I haven't even started yet. You can better believe I take it off the show shot bet. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What a performance by R-Truth here. Entertaining. This ain't Antonio Crowd. But R-Truth is looking to become a two-time United States champion. But he have to get through All Ego Ethan Page.
And his opponent from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 214 pounds, All Ego Ethan Page.
All Ego Ethan Page is making his SmackDown debut here tonight. And what a chance he has to go to Lyon, France to face Carmella Hayes for the vacant United States Championship. That's where we will crown all new champions, ladies and gentlemen. But Ethan Page, R-Truth, who's facing Carmelo? This matchup is underway. Big boot by Truth. And now look at Truth attacking Ethan Page here in this match. And now dropping the leg drop. No, Ethan finds the reversal. Now Truth and Ego locks up here. And now Ethan Page and R-Truth with a clean break, big punch by Ethan. And now into another lockup here. Sending Ethan Page to the corner. And now referee trying to break it up, and there's the cheap shot by Page. But Truth ducks the punch into a third lockup here. And now Truth with the headlock. Wrenching on the neck of Ethan Page is R-Truth here. And now grabs the arm, wrenching the arm of Ethan Page. R-Truth is a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, here in WWE. And now taking down Ethan Page. And now Truth with the chop. Now what does Truth have in mind here? Taking down Page and stomping on the chest. And now look at Truth wrapping up Ethan Page. And now into the submission. But Ethan Page finds a punch, breaking up that submission hold. And now Truth with the punch of his own. Getting up Ethan Page on the shoulders. Page though flips behind into the grapple. But Truth finds elbows to the midsection now. And now look at R-Truth sending Ethan off the ropes into a flatline. And now double axe handle to the face of Ethan. Getting up Ethan Page is R-Truth. Off the ropes, big drop kick. No, Ethan just wadded away R-Truth. Big reversal by Truth. Big punch and another punch. And now there's the combination by R-Truth. And now San Antonio fully behind R-Truth here. There's a spine buster by Truth, going for the pin, and a kick out by Page. And now Ethan Page rolling up R-Truth, and a kick out by Truth. Big elbow drop by Ethan Page. Stomp to the face. And now look at Ethan Page taking control of this matchup. Kick to the midsection, no. Truth finds a reversal. And now Truth, kick to the midsection. Truth with the scissor kick. Going for the pin. Grabbing the leg. There's a 1 count by Ethan Page. And now look at Truth with Truth with his finishing move. There's 2 and kicks out Ethan Page. Truth cannot believe it. Now Truth with the knee to the face of Ethan. Going to the middle rope. And now there's the leg drop on Ethan Page. Going for the pin. Is this going to be enough to defeat Ethan? There's 2, and Ethan Page can't kick out. R-Truth is going to Lyon, France.
Here is your winner, R-Truth.
Truth and Carmella Hayes for the United States Championship in France. But ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is our main event. Aleister Black and ladies and gentlemen, we are back live for our main event here in San Antonio, Texas. And here comes Aleister Black. This man was dominant last week in his match. Then now Aleister Black has a chance to get to Lyon, France. For the WWE Championship against Braun Breaker. Nick Aldis announced just now during the commercial break that Braun Breaker will have his spot at Lyon, France. But ladies and gentlemen, The Miz attacking Aleister Black. When the hell did The Miz even come from? And now stomping out Aleister Black is The Miz. Now Miz gets up Aleister Black, sending him inside the ring. Big punch by The Miz. Now there's the lockup by these two men. And now The Miz sends Aleister into the corner. A clean break by these two men. What a chop, sending Aleister back inside the corner. And now The Miz turning around Black. Kick to the midsection, and now The Miz off the top. Sunset flip. No, Aleister finds the reverse. And now Aleister Black with the knee. And now there's the moonsault. And now The Miz takes down Aleister Black. And now the knee down on the face of Aleister. The Miz is celebrating here. Big punch by The Miz. Aleister finds a reversal. Aleister with the back elbow. And now The Miz rolling out of harm's way, getting back inside the ring. Now, Aleister with a big boot. Down goes The Miz. And now there's a double foot stomp. And now Black laying the punishment on The Miz. There's the double knees to the head. Now Black turns him around. Big knee. Down goes The Miz. Going back inside the ring. Charles Robinson is a count of 3 in this matchup. Aleister Black getting held back by Charles Robinson now. But that does not stop Aleister. Big chop block by The Miz. But Aleister finds a reversal. But The Miz laying punches. And now, there's the knee to the face. Count of 4 by the referee, sending Aleister to the corner of the ringside area. Count of 6. Big axe handle. And now The Miz getting back inside the ring. Count of 8 by the referee. Count of 9. Aleister's back in. And now look at Aleister Black trying to get The Miz on the ropes. Miz finds a reversal. And now The Miz sending Aleister back over the top rope and down back to the floor. The Miz do not want to face Aleister Black. Trying to keep as much separation as he can against the man from Amsterdam. And now there's the chops in combination by The Miz. And more punches. And now look at The Miz. Snap. DDT on the Aleister Black. Going for the pin on Black. There's a 1 count by the referee. Kick by Aleister. Big knee. Down goes The Miz. Going for the pin off the bicycle knee. There's 2 and a kick out by The Miz. Big drop kick. Black swatted him away. And now Miz off the ropes. Black with the punch. Black mass down on The Miz. Going for the pin. There's 2. And The Miz kicked out. And ladies and gentlemen, Nick Aldis We'll figure out the Roman Reigns and Andrade situation next week on SmackDown, so stay tuned for that. What a knee by Aleister Black now. Getting up The Miz. Up on the shoulders goes The Miz. And The Miz finds the reversal. Down goes Aleister. Now look at The Miz. In the corner, there's the knee. Miz gets up. Aleister kick to the midsection. Into another snap. DDT. Going for the pin off the DDT. Is this going to be enough? There's two. And Aleister kicks out. The Miz cannot believe it here. And now getting up Aleister Black. The Miz looking for the skull-crushing finale. And he hits it. Going for the pin. Aleister Black could be out. And he is. The Miz faces Braun Breaker for the WWE Championship.
Here is your winner,
in Leon Frank. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Friday Night Smackdown. We will see you next week. And we saw these two early on in the night. Roman Reigns issuing the challenge to Andrade. And now Roman laying out Andrade again. Wait a minute, what is Roman thinking? He's setting Andrade up once again. No. And another spear by Roman to Andrade. And another spear, no. Andrade finds the reversal. Roman, though, finds a reversal of his own. And ladies and gentlemen, Andrade and Roman completely off the rails here. Nick Aldis gotta do something about these two men. Big headbutt, busting open Andrade. Big punch by Andrade. Big reversal by Roman. What a punch. And now look at Roman pushing his way through Andrade. Roman has up Andrade, but Andrade finds a reversal on Roman. Big reversal by Reigns though. Superman punch. Oh no, Reigns backs up. Reigns is looking for it. There's a spear. We will give you the update next week.